You need to get to a point in your life where there's nothing can hurt you because you know exactly who you are. You've faced your demons. You were able to hear all your past traumas.
And if you start eliminating the who I'm not, by sheer mathematics, you end up more of what feeds you and who you are. And it's a hell of a lot easier thing to go, how can I get rid of some bullshit in my life, than it is to go, well, how do I go to my true self?
Normal people get normal results. Weird people get weird results. You literally can't do what everyone else does and not expect to get what everyone else has. By doing what everyone else does, you guarantee average results.
Listen to the words that I'm saying. You can put your life back together again.
Turn the page, get off the ride. You are the author of the book of your life.
Be the guy who embraces the ugly, the miserable. Be the guy who embraces hard work, the grind. Don't be afraid of being hurt.
Are you all in? Are you willing to lay your life down?
But it ain't about hard to hit. It's about hard to
you get hit.
And keep moving forward.
How much you get take?
And keep moving forward. And the winner is still.
This is why the dark room is so important. Like, if I don't put the work in, if I don't do what is required behind the scenes, I'll never step in public authority. If nobody's told you today, let me be the first to tell you. Every single person listening to me is standing at the precipice of the greatest decision they could ever make in their lives. So because you don't live long, you don't have time not to make your dreams and goals become reality. Every single day, because you don't know how long you have, every single day should be about what can I do, what can I have, what can I be? And you gotta hang out with other people on the same trajectory you're on. When the rest of the world shut you down, you woke up the next day and you said, I got this, I do this, I breathe this, I am this, you can't stop me.
But we don't take a second to realize the purpose is always there. The purpose never leaves us because the very purpose is you. You are always the purpose.
The person who goes to the gym every single day, regardless of how they feel, will always beat the person who goes to the gym when they feel like going to the gym.
It is astounding how many people want to be spectacular in life but also want to fit in and be normal. You are, by definition, aiming for average. Normal people get normal results. Weird people get weird results. You literally can't do what everyone else does and not expect to get what everyone else has. By doing what everyone else does, you guarantee average results.
Just get up, move towards that challenge, whatever that challenge is. Move towards that challenge and go attack it.
And guess what? I had to get up even though it was hard, and I had to take ownership of my life, take ownership of my time, take ownership of my day.
What I have found is that when you take that kind of action, that kind of step of following your gut and your intuition, taking that step, whatever it is, the universe has a funny way of meeting you halfway.
Winners fail a million times. What makes them a winner is that they believe in it, they're headstrong. Nothing's gonna stop them. The spectators have tried it and failed it and remain sitting down. They don't get up anymore because they don't believe it enough. The naysayers' disbelief overrides their ability, potential, and mental capacity that they can be more than that. When the rest of the world shut you down, you woke up the next day and you said, I got this, I do this, I breathe this, I am this, you can't stop me.
Like, I'm gonna be the baddest motherfucker walking.
A good man is a man who can protect and who can provide and who can serve, who can comfort, who can reprimand, who can discipline, whatever's necessary to make the world a little better because he passed through.
The loud voices of this world are the 99% who don't understand exactly what you have to do. That's why when I speak and you don't understand me, it's probably a good thing, because that probably means I'm in an area of life that you're not in.
It is astounding how many people want to be spectacular in life but also want to fit in and be normal. You are, by definition, aiming for average. Normal people get normal results. Weird people get weird results. You literally can't do what everyone else does and not expect to get what everyone else has. By doing what everyone else does, you guarantee average results.
Be the guy who embraces the ugly, the miserable. Be the guy who embraces hard work, the grind. Don't be afraid of being hurt. Don't be afraid of sacrificing some blood.
You ask all my teammates, one thing about Michael Jordan was he never asked me to do something that he didn't do. And they're gonna say, well, he wasn't really a nice guy. He may have been a tyrant. Oh, well, that's you, because you never wanted anything.
If you're cool with walking in the shadows of yourself and, you know, the only person you got is the man right there in the shadow, man. How you doing? Pretty good. How you doing? All right, man. Cool, cool. It's kind of weird having a conversation with you, but ain't no one else around because everyone else has faded way back then, way back there. You know, if you're cool with that kind of walk of life, I tell you, man, the world is your playground.
So I went to a powerlifting competition a couple of years ago. There was this one guy there lifting. He holds a bunch of records in the squat, and he's a normal working class guy from a normal working class town on the outskirts of Newcastle. And watching that man warm up is something else. He's got a sacred playlist. He never listens to the songs apart from when he's about to step on to the lifting platform. He's got these headphones on and he's just walking up and down in the same way that you'd see a bull ready to go out, ready to go and chase something. And he steps out on stage and the hairs stand up on the back of your neck. You're watching this guy channel rage, fury.
That's the god of war.
It's your brother, your mom, your friend, the one comment they're gonna say, you've changed, why are you doing another kick like this? Oh, you're gonna try that now. Okay, here we go again. The thing is that it's not about them being right or wrong. Again, it's about how right and how wrong they could be. Let's say you wanted to start a podcast in the past and you did 3 episodes and then you fell off. And then they think, I told you so. Stop with these dreams. Stop with this crazy content stuff. You're never going to become an influencer or whatever your goal is. Replace influencer with whatever your thing is. The thing is that you are still closer having done 3 than having done 0. And so it's just about directional correctness and realizing that criticizers are more often correct, but when it matters most, incorrect.
You get to face a lot of young man. You got a long journey ahead of you because you're going to find out that while your dad did a lot of to you, you're going to have to make it on your own. Because this world we live in is tough. It's tough. It will beat you down. The world and the life that we live in is the ultimate competitor. The world's tough. The world's tough. It will try to take you out. It will find your weakness and it will just hammer you. So it's time to get back to work. Get back to work. Stop hearing yourself talk. Get off the podcast. Don't be on social media too much. Cut out all the fucking noise. Get back to the fucking mental lab, because that's where the knowledge came from. You need to get to a point in your life where there's nothing can hurt you because you know exactly who you are. You've faced your demons. You were able to hear all your past traumas. You were able to listen to them. You're able to say, okay, now I can now talk to people about what I went through. I'm no longer embarrassed. I'm no longer ashamed. Being ashamed is one of the biggest things that kill people nowadays. In their minds, kill them from moving forward. I'm ashamed of myself. Don't ever be ashamed of anything you've done in your life. Face it, fix it, make it better. Everything I need is in my mental lab. Everything, because I'm in constant study of myself. And I know what needs to be conquered because I'm constantly going through what I don't like, what I'm not comfortable with. I know, and only I can fix these problems because I have to face these problems.
Unchosen suffering is going to happen, right? So the only thing that you can do is have some chosen suffering to prepare for it.
It's the only thing you can do. That's the only thing you can practice for the unchosen suffering, is have chosen suffering. Do something that sucks every day. I'm not trying to send a message of run 200 miles, be the baddest motherfucker in the world, but be tough. You better have a part about you that's tough, a part about you that can break down situations and get better. And break down situations very quickly within some trauma in your life, some devastation in your life, because it's gonna come. The devastation, the trauma is gonna come, and you can't allow that to become a Jersey barrier. It can't be a Jersey barrier. It has to be something that you can maneuver through very quickly and move forward. That takes a lot of toughness. Because a lot of people, when you die, they figure out why you died. They figure out how you died in the autopsy. But we never do a live autopsy to figure out why we're dying while we are alive. And I was dying. I was living every day, but I was really dead. And so I figured it out. And once I figured it out, I was able to reborn. I was able to be reborn. You must take this knowledge that you learn from all this shit is knowledge. So I'm just trying to give people that strength to go in the archives of your life, because while you're probably f***ed up, it's probably something happened to you in your life. Go through the archives, dig it up, study it, and then use it for yourself. That's the main purpose for me right now. You need to be better here, you need to be better here, you need to overcome this, overcome that. And people need to have purpose to get up. They need purpose to perform. You need to get to a point in your life where there's nothing on the docket. There's no 5K, there's no, I'm gonna get into school to be this or that, and still perform to the highest level. Because what people don't get is one day that thing's gonna come up. And if you're not constantly performing without purpose, you're not gonna be ready when the time comes. It's this magical thing, purpose, that we're all looking for. But what's funny about it all is that we need these things to perform, but we don't take a second to realize the purpose is always there. The purpose never leaves us, because the very purpose is you. You are always the purpose. There may be another purpose, like being a SEAL or going to college or whatever, but the main purpose in life is you. So if you wake up in the morning and you don't want to do something, you don't care enough about yourself. And that's what you need to really research is, why am I not doing this for myself? Because that is the number one purpose in life, is to better oneself. So that's the only purpose I fucking need. So the reason I get up every day, even though there's no race or there's no school, there's nothing in front of me, is because I have pride in myself.
If you're gonna do it, do it. Say what you can do what you say. If you can't do it, don't say you can do it. Don't over leverage yourself. Don't over leverage a decision and then jump in and kind of dip a toe. I think I'll try it out. No, think if you're gonna try it out beforehand, but when it's time to go, dive. Finish it, find out. Come out the other side. Don't leave it and go, ooh, if I just would, that keeps me up at night. I think it keeps a lot of us up at night. When you half-ass something and you just don't know whether you failed or succeeded, got what you want or didn't get what you want, finding out and looking in the mirror and going, I didn't half-ass it, I went all the way, I found out, and that ain't for me. Or I found out, and you damn right that is for me. That's a great place to get to. I think part of the challenges in life is a lot of us are running around half-assing ourselves, half-fooling ourselves, not full of ourselves, not studying ourselves enough, not holding ourselves to task enough, not patting our own self on the back when we do get what we want enough, not cracking our own whip on our backside when we do get out of line even though we knew better. I wish we were more full of ourselves that way. Someone said this to me before, Matthew, you're so full of yourself. And I, without thinking, I was like, well, who else am I supposed to be full of?
That's a good line.
And I stopped after. I was like, that's exactly what I meant. And I went and wrote that down. I wish more people were more full of themselves. I think we should take some time to be able to look in the mirror and own that thing that we pulled off and go, good job. That's what you wanted. That's what you got. At the same time, be able to, as we do more often, look in the mirror when we fail and go, bogey, you did not pull that off.
Give others and yourself more credit.
Happiness, you can't guarantee it, but there is a science to satisfaction. There, you can look at habits that engineered less pain in your life, maybe more pleasure, but at least less pain. And that's a win.
So much easier to be supportive and gentle of other people than of ourselves. You know, you will happily bestow this sort of
gentle, reassuring pat on the shoulder when somebody succeeds or falls short when they tried their best. Yet, given the fact that you tried your best, you give yourself a kick on the way out of the door and a harsh word to follow you.
Yep, because I got myself in the pickle. Because things didn't go how I wanted it to go or how I believed it could go. Life's the ironic tragedy. Life is pain. I'm the reason that I stepped in, which is also an asset. Even if someone go, why are you giving yourself so much credit for screwing that up?
We're gonna make mistakes. You gotta own them. Then you gotta make amends. And then you gotta move on. Guilt and regret kills many a man before their time. So turn the page, get off the ride. You are the author of the book of your life.
There are habits that I notice of things I take care of in my life, health-wise, faith-wise, father-wise, husband-wise. If I'm doing that consistently, there's less valleys.
The ironic tragedy is that life has to be lived forward, but only makes sense in reverse.
But when you look back, we can all connect every single dot. It's mathematical, scientific, how we got to this table right here. It's all connected if we go back and look at it. And there's a whole lot of, I thought that was the end. Well, it was the end, but it was the beginning of this thing. What you're leaning into is that mystery going forward, right? That ironic tragedy that you have something to push off the, well, I don't know what I do want, but I do know I don't want that. You have leverage.
Yes.
You know, it's there. You know, we always say, well, who are you? You know, once you figure out who you are. And we ask, I try not to ask my kids that now. Well, I want you to know who you are. And a part of that who's helped me is Bob Dylan's lines, like, I don't know what all this talks about who we are, man. We are all just what we create ourselves to be. And that gives me a little, oh, that's relaxing. But it's so much easier to figure out who you're not. And if you start eliminating the who I'm not, by sheer mathematics, you end up
moving toward
more of what feeds you and who you are. And it's a hell of a lot easier thing to go, how can I get rid of some bullshit in my life, than it is to go, well, how do I go to my true self?
Do I want to press the accelerator more quickly, or do I want to take my foot off the fucking brake?
Sometimes the hard work and the endurance and the elbow grease, the work harder we were talking about, that hustle is not the way out. Sometimes it's, I need to back up, laugh, have a sip of my favorite whatever, and dance my way through the raindrops out of this sun. And even looking at the things that are bad and going, oh, thank you. Appreciate that.
When I think about how hard I want to work, the interesting thing about that is that the only person who can judge you on your success is you, because you're the only one who knows how much left in the tank you really had.
No matter how hard I trained, no matter how ready I was, whenever something got tough for me, the real David Goggins would come out and he would quit. So I realized this over a period of time. I had to build Goggins. And in that process, that's where I get better.
When you half-ass something you just don't know, whether you failed or succeeded, got what you want or didn't get what you want, finding out and looking in the mirror and going, I didn't half-ass it, I went all the way, I found out, and that ain't for me. Or I found out, and you damn right that is for me. That's a great place to get to.
Do not settle. Do not think that where you are and what you see is all you will ever have. There is more, but change doesn't always come to you. It comes from you.
Not everybody's gonna believe in you. There are gonna come times where you're gonna be broken all to pieces, and you're gonna feel like you cannot get it all together. You can't seem to bring your life back on track. But get that mess out of your ears and listen to the words that I'm saying. You can put your life back together again. You have the faith, you have the strength, you have the knowledge, you have the ability. Now go to work and do your business.
And I just want to ask anybody listening to me, why not you? Why not you? Why can't you be the person that changes everything? innovator, the trailblazer, the disruptor, the person that makes a decision that I will not be the weakest link in the chain of a dynasty.
How much time do you think you have left? Don't live your life as if you're gonna go on forever. You don't have to start over. Start up today.
I'm here to tell you that once you get started, you can't stop until you get there. I'm telling you, when you get in the boat, you make a commitment. It doesn't matter if the gale comes. It doesn't matter if the winds and the waves come. It doesn't matter if the storm comes. Just keep rolling.
Am I willing to see it, dream it, count up the cost, and then pay the price? Most of us are not willing to pay that price.
Today I want to talk about a force so profound, so transformative, that it can change the very fabric of our lives. This force is gratitude.
The two emotions that destroy your relationship, your business, your life, it's fear and anger. Those are two extremes. What's the emotion I want to train? Gratitude. You can't be grateful and fearful simultaneously. You can't be angry and grateful simultaneously. So what I do is I start my day, I make those changes, and I close my eyes or I look out at the water and I think of 3 things that I'm grateful for just a minute each.
I find 10 things to be grateful for before my feet hit the ground. And especially if I'm feeling strained and stressed, I go over my gratitude list, because gratitude will reduce stress all day long.
In the hustle and bustle of our daily lives, we often overlook the power of simply being thankful. But let me tell you, gratitude is not just a feeling, it's a way of life.
There's nothing you'll ever accomplish that's more remarkable than that you have a chance to accomplish something. When you're so grateful for the at-bat, you're happy.
When we unpack the architecture of a winning mentality, we're dealing with somebody that every single day they're beating on their craft and they're closing the gap. They are crystal clear about where they are and where they're looking to go. This is the type of person that's got tunnel vision. They move in the dimension of mindfulness and gratitude.
Say thank you for your heart that knows how to mend when it's broken. Show gratitude for your composure that helps you control your emotions.
I stand here in my greatness. I own my light. I own my brilliance. I am bold. I am courageous. I'm perfect in my imperfection. This is my time. This is my time. I'm bright enough. I'm old enough. I'm young enough. I've experienced enough. I'm wise enough. I understand that I am enough. Breathe. Own it. Own it.
If you're in a state of gratitude, it makes total sense. Then you will accept, believe, and surrender the thoughts that are equal to that emotional state, and you could actually program your autonomic nervous system to make the pharmacy of chemicals that causes growth and repair to happen in the body. You start feeling gratitude, you start feeling more gratitude, you start feeling love, you start feeling more love, you start feeling kindness, you start feeling care, you start feeling appreciation, you start feeling creative, you start feeling inspired. You practice feeling those emotions, and you get that heart of yours back into balance. We discovered that once energy makes it to the heart, it's going right to the brain.
They take 3 minutes and it's kind of like a blessing or a prayer for the people around me, for the people I love. And there's been a lot of studies that Dalai Lama and others have done on compassion for strangers, what it does to your brain. And then the last 3 minutes I call 3 to Thrive, where I focus for a minute each on something I really want to make happen. I give thanks for it as it's done. I see it as done. I experience it as done. I wire my particular activating system. So now it's going to notice anything that relates to that, but it has a joyous feeling to it as well. And I'm done in 10 minutes and I'm ready to rock and roll.
I'm trying to get people to practice reframing their perspective. I practice gratitude every day. If I wake up in the morning and nobody I love passed away or came down with a terminal illness, then my day starts off great.
When I wake up today, every single day, I wake up grateful.
I wake up happy. I wake up excited.
Pause and reflect on what you're grateful for. This simple act can turn darkness into light, struggle into strength. Embrace the power of gratitude and let it be the foundation of your journey.
Be grateful for life. Be grateful for your children. Hug your loved ones. You know, tomorrow's not promised. We all gotta fight.
Because winning is not just an exterior thing. It is very much an interior thing. Winning has everything to do with your mentality. It has everything to do with how you talk, how you walk, how you think, how you overcome conflict, how you navigate a room, how you navigate relationships, how you manage your time, how you manage your money. Winning is not just an end thing. It's not just a crown or a trophy. It is the process. It is not just what I want. It is who I am becoming.
Carry the power of gratitude with you. Let it illuminate your path, strengthen your spirit, and deepen your connection.
The most important decision of your life is deciding whether you're truly committed to being happy no matter what. Because life is going to throw all kinds of curveballs at all of us. So the greatest gift you could give yourself is, I believe, to make that decision and say life is too short to suffer. It doesn't matter what happens, you're going to find something in it to enjoy and appreciate.
You find what you're looking for. You want to get sad? Go read all the negative stuff. It's there, unlimited. You want to be happy? Go find all the free content around happiness, self-fulfillment, positivity. It's all there. You find what you're looking for.
I'm not an advocate of toxic positivity or rose-colored glasses necessarily, but I do believe that you get to choose the thing that you're going to go looking for. And if you can get up and say, I'm going to go out and find some evidence of a good day, the likelihood of you having one is just higher.
That gratitude allows me to have perspective at the end of the day, as opposed to focusing on all the horrible things or the bad stuff. It brings me back to perspective that my life is amazing, even if it's horrible. My life is amazing, even if it's the worst day ever and everything's against me. I lose all my money and something else bad happens. It's still incredible.
You focus so much on the negative that you forget all the positive. And then when you do think about the positive, you're not putting the energy in the positive like you put in the negative. I know how to talk negative just like you know how to talk negative, but it don't work. It don't help nobody. Because if I put my energy into something negative, automatically my body's gonna respond and I'm gonna start doing negative stuff. I was homeless too. My father wasn't in my life too. I've been in struggles too. But I've come to realize that when you think optimistically and you speak positively, you can speak those things which are not as though they were. You can say certain things out your mouth and make it happen.
Positive thinking is not about being delusional. Positive thinking is about learning how to take control of internal processes and understanding that that will shape your external environment. But it's about remaining in control of the internal landscape. It's about knowing that despite shifts in the external landscape, you're gonna be okay.
This wave of betrayal, this wave of fear, this wave of grief, this wave of frustration, this wave of feeling stuck, this wave of feeling hopeless, it's temporary. It will come and it will go. And when you realize that emotions are temporary, it also gives you perspective to know that something better is coming.
One of my mentors, she had this business card that she used to give out to people. And it said that her greatest regret in life is trading in what she wanted in the bigger picture for what she wanted in that moment. And I always think about my life in that way of, is this what I want for the greater good, for my story to be, or am I acting out of a place of desire? Am I acting out of a place of wanting to change the way that I feel right now, knowing that that will hinder me? That's not really what I want. What place am I coming from?
Smart people like the idea of being cynical because it seems like you've considered all of the options. Only somebody that's a smooth-brained idiot would believe that things are going to go well, but it fails to recognize that your experience of your life is largely determined by the story that you tell yourself about it.
Well, I think it's the idea of going, look, you can change the way that you think about things. So I was thinking about things I can do this narrow bandwidth of things. My belief system, the assumptions I'd made about life. Well, you can get a job and you can work for someone. And after you get a job and you work for 40 years, you get a pension. And when you get the pension, I was on a conveyor belt. Sure. When suddenly I went, oh, I could believe anything. I could believe that I could do anything. I could believe that I could be the guy on the TV show telling jokes. And you can. What you believe dictates your life. You'll be the barrier. You'll be the thing that stops you.
Life itself is what we deem it.
That's exactly right. It is what we deem it. And so you have to be relentlessly protective of the information that you take in, the thoughts that occupy your mind, the people that you surround yourself with. Because all of those things are influence factors. Another Stoic philosopher once said that, when you leave your house and when you come back that night, you come back as a different man. You're never the same man coming back, right? Well, you're either coming back as a better human, more transcendent, more aware, more connected, or not.
So every single day for me, it starts at ground zero. I'm humble and I'm listening and my mind is open. And this is what I've seen and this is what I can tell you about. Everything that I look at, I try and look at from a humble perspective. And if you don't do that, it's going to be a problem.
Perspective is everything. Let's go. I need you to hear me loud and clear. How you see this thing is everything.
I just limited envy and jealousy, and I leaned into optimism and gratitude. If you're deeply unhappy, instead of blaming everyone else for it, put in the work to get out of it, because you can. I believe in people. I fucking believe in you.
How will you see the rest of your day? Because how you see the rest of your day will oftentimes determine the way you see the rest of your life.
Yeah, keep moving me, baby. Keep moving me, I love it. I love it. People been booing me and doubting me since I started training. I love it. The more you boo me, the stronger I get, baby. I'm used to this. Y'all can't stop me. Keep it up, baby. Keep it up. Y'all can't stop me.
Listen, stop feeling sorry for you. Well, come on then. What's wrong with you? You're too. Now you gotta pull it out of the fire. Come on, Liam, man. You got it, man. Come on. We are firemen. The heat doesn't bother us. We live in the heat. We train in the heat. It tells us that we're ready. We're at home. We're where we're supposed to be. Flames don't intimidate us. What do? We control the flame. We control them. We move the flame where we want to. And then we extinguish them.
Are you bold enough? Are you radical enough in your hunger and your thirst to go after what it is that you believe is yours? Are you crazy enough? Are you courageous enough to disappear for 30 days? Come back and shock the world.
You're gonna f***ing hate yourself in the morning. Why are you falling back? No, don't tell me yes. Why?
Demons far and wide, hear my promise and hear my vow. When I speak the name of my Lord, all heads will turn and all heads shall bow. I will never give in, and that is something you should already know. I'm a warrior of God, and on this night, the gates will remain closed.
This will be the story that I will one day tell.
I'm here. Send a message, like location. I'm gonna come. Whatever you want, doesn't matter. Ireland, New York, Brooklyn, or Moscow, doesn't matter. Tell me, where?
That's not fucking good enough. The fucking final. Think the fuck in right fucking now. What's the matter with you?
Tomorrow. Let's do it tomorrow.
There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow.
There is nothing to save myself for or give myself to. I fight because I know nothing else.
You think darkness is your ally. You merely adopted a dark. I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't see the
I was gonna rip his heart out. I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been.
Who's one more to carry the boat? Wake up! Stop sleeping on yourself!
The welcome to Ramadi is you're going to go and pay your respects to some guys who just killed. And there's firefights in the city. So we're just across the river from the city. There's firefights in the city all day. There's firefights in the city all night. It was legit combat.
Though you may lose the battle, you refuse to lose the war. Reach the point of no return, my friend, where you're always willing to give more.
That fact that you have the ability to do something and you're too weak to fucking turn the key and start the engine on it is a greater disappointment and a greater burden to carry than any of this physical sweat equity or pain in the gym or sacrifice. All that is just nothing.
What pissed you off the most? What is it?
Myself.
Why? Huh?
Because I'm lazy.
When was the last time you did something 100%?
I can't remember.
What are you afraid of? Tell me.
Screw it up. Damn it. It's just screw it up. I've done it all my life. I'm a failure.
You're not a failure.
Yes, I am.
You are not. We all make mistakes in life. Embrace change.
When you're getting in there and you're overthinking and all these things come in too much of like, I have to do this, this, and this, I have to do a 4-second negative. Oh my God, that's going to be so hard. I should drop the weight. Then, like, no, just get in there, know what you can do, bust your ass, and get out of there.
Yeah.
And sometimes overthinking it holds you back.
People want to jump from day 1 to day 10 by getting some big seed money or big investment. And dude, I don't care how much money I've made. I try to pretend like I'm broke every single day in the way that I think, because it forces me to create new solutions and innovate in my brain.
I had one of my sales guys who I said, dude, I don't see you at the gym. And he said, you know, I'm just really busy. And I just like looked at him and I was like, you will never have more time and less responsibility than you do now. So I kind of used the James Clear thing. I said, hey, if you can't make it work now, accept that you're never going to be in shape for the rest of your life. He was like, whoa. I was like, think about it.
Rid yourself of
right.
desire.
Yeah. I was like, you're just never going to be in shape. He was like, well, I mean that. I was like, right. So do it or don't, but stop wanting it.
I promise you, you don't want to be that old person sitting on your deathbed looking back at your life filled with regret because you always made the easy choice.
Think it right now! Whatever the fuck you have!
That go all in, embrace it. Let it mold you, shape you into what you've always wanted to become.
You gotta lock in.
What the hell does fair have to do with it? I got a big news flash for you, Tammy. Life isn't fair. You're gonna have to scrape and claw for everything you want, just like the rest of us. But you haven't done one single thing to make it better. You know, you can't just bitch and moan and expect shit to change.
You're going to lose sleep. You'll doubt whether it'll work. You'll stress to make ends meet. You won't finish your to-do list. You'll wonder whether you made the right call and have no way to know. This is what hard feels like, and that's okay. Everything worth doing is hard, and the more worth doing it is, the harder it is. The greater the payoff, the greater the hardship. If it's hard, good. It means no one else will do it. More for you.
Being bullied, coming from nothing, learning disability, messed up foundation. Life isn't fair at all. At all. So what are you gonna do about it? I knew that no one was coming back to help me. No one was gonna miracle me to be somebody special. All my situations were on me now. It's solely on me.
Look, that test might not go away. That pain may not go away. That fight might not go away. You are a warrior. It's time for you not to back up, not to give up, not to give in. I know it's challenging. I know you've never gone through this much pain before. I know you've never been tested like this. I don't know if I can make it. Look, warrior, it's time to do what warriors do, baby.
Life isn't fair, is it? Doesn't appear to be very fair.
I don't even know if that's what we want. Now, what are we built for?
Because, dude, the reality is life is hard, man. We're gonna be hit so many times with unexpected hardships. And these unexpected hardships for most people crumble them And the reason they crumble them is because they lack the ability to operate during hard times.
Man, it's tough duty to win the fair fights. And there's a lot of unfair fights out there. And why do I want to spend my time, if I got 24 hours a day, picking unfair fights when I'm going to be busting my ass to win the fair ones?
Life can be kind of difficult. You don't really know sometimes where you're headed. Nobody kind of gives you any kind of guidance in this world.
One of the things that makes life more difficult for us is that we expect it to be easy.
Does demanding that it should be fair make you stronger? Does saying that that person started further ahead of you in any way benefit you? No, because your actions are entirely independent from them.
No, it's hard. Life is hard. And you could either fold or you could get after it.
Some of y'all, you like, E.T., I'm frustrated. I can't take another loss. Listen to me. Can you just survive today?
I call it the Rocky cutscene, and almost every successful person that I have ever encountered has gone through not a month or a year, but many years of doing work without reward, where they have to do things that other people find boring, and they have to sacrifice things that everyone finds interesting, and they basically sacrifice a season of other things that they would prefer to do stuff that they would not prefer to do because of the one thing they want most.
Look, life is hard, and there is suffering, but you're not alone. There is a way out, and there is light out there, and it is good, but you gotta hang in there. You gotta never give up, and you gotta remember that you are never out of the fight.
This was a hard journey. I will not make any excuses for my failures out here, because to do so would deprive me of my victories. Am I disappointed with the outcome? Yes. But am I content with myself? Absolutely.
It was never designed to be easy. Life was given for a reason. We exist for a reason. We were put on this earth to do great things. But the challenges, ladies and gentlemen, the challenges had to happen. They must happen. They will happen. But we must carry on.
If I'm gonna hurt like this, if I'm gonna bleed like this, if I'm gonna cry like this, let me cry because I'm in the best shape of my life. Let me cry because I'm conditioned to weather the uphill war. Let me cry because I'm building my relationship. I'm building my business. I'm building my legacy. Let me cry because it hurt, but there is a reward on the other end of my pain. Let me cry tears because I passed the test, because I gave it everything I had. Everything in life comes with hardship. Make a decision. Will you choose the pain that hurts you or the pain that changes you? Consider this your wake-up call.
It was on me. And that's the thing you have to realize. Everything you do, you may have some support, you may not, but it's on you. You have to make the decision whether you want to be a badass or whether you just want to be mediocre and everything's okay. But being a badass hurts real bad. Life isn't fair. We have to understand that. It shouldn't be fair. It's a trial ground, it's a testing ground. It's built to make us harder. It's built to make us as strong as we can, to test us, to drive us. So, mentality is the only thing that gets us through life. But this is the thing though, it's easier said than done. Right. On the other end of suffering is a life that many people don't know even exists. It's a beautiful world. We all live in this world where our brains are keeping us in this box. Outside that box, on the other edge of suffering, is a world that's endless of opportunity. But we are afraid to go outside that box because in that box it's comfortable. Outside that box, man, God gives you a shovel and says, man, start digging. That's not fun.
So I think part of the challenges in life is a lot of us are running around half-assing ourselves, half-fooling ourselves, not full of ourselves, not studying ourselves enough, not holding ourselves to task enough, not patting our own self on the back when we do get what we want enough, not cracking our own whip on our backside when we do get out of line even though we knew better. I wish we were more full of ourselves that way.
But understand this,
life is hard. No matter who you are, there are bumps and hits and bruises along the way. And my advice is to prepare yourself. Success and achievement come from overcoming adversity.
Life is hard. See, it's hard when you're 49 years old, been working on a job for 17 years, and they come in and tell you you're finished and give you 1 week severance pay. And you got to start all over again. It's hard when you're married and raising children and your children are crawling and your husband dies unexpectedly. It's hard handling just the tragedies of life. It's hard when you're working on something and you put everything you have in it and it doesn't work. You lose your money and other people's money. It's hard. You will go through things, and while you're going through them, you can't understand why it's happening to you. But after you go through it, you get back and you look at it and you say, oh, now I understand why I needed that lesson.
At some juncture, you will encounter pain. And the moment that you get acquainted with pain, you get acquainted with hardship, you realize that no matter what you do, no matter how much you study, no matter how much you plan, you will not be able to avoid a measure of pain. If you want this thing, I don't care what it is, then you're going to have to get acquainted with pain. The pain of discipline, the pain of growth, the pain of learning, the pain of giving, the pain of forgiving. It all hurts. So pick your pain, choose your heart.
But getting knocked down or getting knocked back doesn't mean you stop living. It doesn't mean you stop growing. It doesn't mean you don't carry on. But I dare you to go the hard way. I dare you to go down that path that many refuse to go. I dare you to show up and show the world that you have something that is special and unique about you. I dare you to show the world something they ain't never seen before about you. I dare you to stand up. I dare you to breathe life into your purpose. I dare you to do it.
Tired don't mean nothing. Tired is only in the mind. You tell yourself you're tired, you're gonna be tired. I don't get tired.
I'm going to beat you. I'm going to let you know I beat you. I'm going to want you to reconsider your professional life choice.
My father who raised me, his thing was, son, you may not be the best, but leave everything on the floor. You put 120%. I'm just asking you to do 120. Like every day when you come in, 120.
You gotta want it so bad. You gotta give all of yourself to get it. You gotta be obsessive.
Because I didn't grow up with things being handed to me. I had to work hard, I had to dedicate myself, and I had to be determined, and I was.
The bottom line is that if you're talking about beating everybody else on the planet to a thing, what you're actually talking about is what are you prepared to sacrifice psychologically, physically, existentially, relationally, socially, in terms of your self-esteem, your confidence, everything, right? All of that.
That pain you feel, that's the pain of success. You must be willing to shoulder that pain to get success. And success is something that's a very lonely path in this world. Because few are willing to make that down payment of pain for that futurement of success, a better life. Very few are.
So if you want to be the top, you got to move different.
There wasn't a lot of smiley faces with me out there. There wasn't a lot of smiley faces with Michael Jordan. There weren't a lot of smiley faces with Kobe Bryant. There weren't a lot of smiley faces with Tiger Woods. Even when I watch sports today and see these guys on the range, like they're all buddies, and I'm like, that's not the killer instinct. That's just not. I don't think Muhammad Ali or Mike Tyson were trying to be friends with anybody. I think they were going out there on a mission. And if there was someone in their way, they had to crush them.
There's never any doubts in my mind because I'm the best in the world. Even though a lot of you don't like to hear it, it's fact. I'm the best. You know what I mean? Sometimes I don't want to believe it myself, but it's the truth. I'm the best.
You can love me. You can hate me. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to win.
At the end of the day, even Alexander, one of his famous quotes is, I have met the enemy, it is I, right? And although that is one element of an enemy, that's great. We need that. Michael had it, Brady had it, Kobe had it, but there's a crazy psychologically, you can call it, psycho competitor that they're constantly in the search of recruiting their next enemy. It's like, life is boring if I don't have my next target. I'm almost, bad for myself if I don't have the next target, the next enemy. And if I choose it the right way, then I'm able to bring out a side of me I've never seen before.
Success is the only revenge. As you expand, they shrink into irrelevance. As you get louder, no one can hear them. You don't beat them, you cast a shadow so big, no one can see them to begin with.
And that's what it comes down to, like, what are you willing to sacrifice at the end of the day? People don't understand the level of sacrifice it's going to take. And there's been moments where I realize that I compete because I want to win. I love winning. I love being the best in the world. I've sat many times trying to find the balance of what I want within all this. If I was losing, I wouldn't be competing. I'm here to win.
It is hard. It's hard when you're young to wake up in the off season at 6 a.m. to go train and work out, knowing that all your friends are sleeping in and eating pancakes. It's hard when you're on your way to practice, weighed down with all your gear, and it's 90 degrees out and all the other kids are at the pool or at the beach. No matter who you are, there are bumps and hits and bruises along the way. And my advice is to prepare yourself, because success and achievement come from overcoming adversity.
When the rest of the world says no to you, you say yes to yourself. You say yes, I believe. You say yes, I can do it. You say yes, nothing can stop me.
If you want to be a great player, if you play every single day, 2-3 hours, every single day, over the course of a year, how much better are you getting?
I know many of you saw this game. They were down by 20. They were down by 20. Down by 20 in Golden State? No. Down by 20 away. But before this happened, if anybody's been studying him closely, what happened before this game happened? 77 three-pointers in a row. This boy made 77 three-point shots in practice. They were down by 20 points. He came back and won the game, but you might have missed it. Do you see it? He's shooting a three-pointer with his eyes closed. They showed it on Sports Center. The boy's eyes is closed with the three. Boom. Muscle memory. His eyes is closed. What was he thinking about? He was thinking about in practice, 1, in practice, 2, 77. And he starts saying to himself, we down by 3 points. 3 times 7 is 21. Let me give him the business. 1, defense. 2, defense. Guys, don't worry about it. Just give me the rock. You sure? Remember what I did in practice? Seconds left. He not even at home. He away from home. He got his eyes closed. Boom! With one of the best defenders checking him. This kid didn't take his team to the most wins this year because of what he does in the game. This is your year. This is your moment. If not you, who? If not now, when? This is you, baby. Ain't nobody stopping you but you. Can't nobody stop you but you. You not average, stop acting like it. You not average. Why you being average? You not average. Why you being good when you not good? You great. You phenomenal. When you gonna step up to the plate? You gonna let a high school dropout, somebody that lived in abandoned buildings, somebody ate out of trash, outdo you? I couldn't hardly read when I got to college. You gonna let me outdo you? You're greater than that. And so I need you to do me a huge favor. I need you to dig deep.
I need you to know that you're enough. I need you to know that you're qualified.
I need you to know that all you have is all you need. You are an unrepeatable miracle, and there is none like you in all of the earth. And if nobody told you today, let me be the first to tell you, there is none like you in all of the earth. Your DNA, your footprint, your fingerprint, your purpose, your calling, your destiny, your mindset, your mentality. And I'm just wondering if you are bold enough and courageous enough to believe what I'm saying. You are enough. And the truth of the matter is, what you think is pain, what you think is hurting you, is actually helping you. And I'm just wondering if maybe you could just change the way that you think. Maybe if you could just see this thing differently. I know they left you, they hurt you, it left you, it hurt you. And you feel like you're just in this place where you can't move forward. See it differently. You've been too focused on the people that don't like you, the people that don't support you, the people that told you to write the book, and then when you released it, they never bought it. You've been too focused on the past childhood traumas. You've been too focused on who was not there for you and who did not believe in you, and the people that just said it but didn't do it, the trauma, the anxiety. And I'm wondering if you can begin to shift that focus in the next 30 days, if you can begin to shift that focus on what's working in your life, what's within your control, and not what's outside of your control. What can you control? Who can you influence? The first person that needs to be influenced in your life is you. It's you. And I'm just wondering if you're courageous enough, bold enough, if you have enough faith, come on, if you have enough inside of you, resilience to come back to the scene. It starts with me and the man upstairs, and it ends right here.
Let the fear fade and let faith invade. You must move forward in strength. Do not succumb to the depression, the anxiety, the rage, the hatred, or the regret. Live in purpose. Resist the temptation to give in.
I can tell you this, that resurrection is a decision. And every single day you gotta decide. People who publicly rise are the people that made a private decision not to stay down any longer. I don't know what time you're listening to me, and I don't mean to sound morbid, but somebody died tonight. Somebody died this morning. Somebody died this afternoon. I don't know what time you're listening to me, but somebody didn't make it.
There's still life left in you. You are still breathing. You have another opportunity to begin again. And every day, every single day gives you that new opportunity.
Appreciate it. Flow from this place of gratitude and say, God, thank you for keeping my mind when I could have lost it. Thank you, Lord, for giving me one more day, one more opportunity. They say time is what we want most, but what we use worst. The moment that you stop striving, the moment that you stop pressing, the moment that you stop fighting, you start dying. Just keep going to the next level. Just keep climbing that staircase. Just keep going. And it's not about beating the man or woman that's standing in the room with you. It's about beating the man and the woman that's in the mirror. Can you do better than you? Can you do better than you did yesterday? That's all I want to ask you. Can you do better? If you haven't been able to get up, something inside of you has to snap. I know you're beaten, but get up. I know you're bleeding, but get up. I know you're insecure, but get up. I know it wasn't your fault, but get up. I know it hurts, but get up. I know you have blood in your eyes, but get up. Get up. Get up. Wake up. Why are you here? What is your design? Why did you survive? Come on, start thinking about these things. You're still alive for a reason. Somebody died today, but you're still here listening. In this very moment, you have an opportunity. Someone who can rise is someone who is not dead yet. You are not dead yet. You are not dead yet. You are not dead yet. You may be tired, but you are not dead. You may be broken, but you are not dead. You may be weary, but you are not dead. You have an opportunity to rise above what happened to you. You can condemn me and crucify me to a past that is planted in pain, but I will rise. I make the decision that resurrection is my gift. Your perseverance is not even about you. The future, the next generation, legacy, destiny is attached to this.
Your life may not look anything like you thought it would look right now, but you have an opportunity today to change that. And every decision you make is either bringing you to your destiny or taking you from your destiny. If you're walking through or walked out of or survived the worst trauma and pain of your life, believe that this is the first day of the best days of your life. You gotta take everything you have on the inside and claw your way back. You've been in this cave. You've been in this deep, dark prison of obscurity and uncertainty and doubt and fear. This is the day you come out of your pit of misery, your cell of uncertainty and doubt and fear. This is your day. Get up and beat yourself from yesterday. It's not about comparing yourself to everybody. It's not about scrolling through social media and looking at the people that are projecting the highlights of their life. It's not about that. It's about, can you do better than you did yesterday? Just need you to be 1% better than you were yesterday. If you can be 1% better than you were yesterday, you're making progress. Every day, every single day is a new beginning. So take a deep breath. Inhale. Exhale. It's a new day, a new opportunity. You can get to a place in your life where you are so tired that you can hardly move, and you can be so fragmented, so beat up that you can't even open your eyes. I know what that paralysis feels like. It's like, man, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. I don't feel like doing it right now. I don't feel like thinking again. I don't feel like writing it down again. I don't feel like reading it again. I don't want to talk about it. I'll do it tomorrow. And sometimes we can get wrapped up in that human condition that says, man, I don't have what it takes. I don't know how to navigate the terrain. I'm so broken. I'm so tired. I'm so buried under the misery of my past and the mistakes that I made. And we're waiting for these perfect conditions, and we keep thinking that perfect is coming tomorrow. Perfect doesn't come to you. As we practice and as we process, we can achieve a measure of perfection. So if you want to take action and you want to step out of the place of stagnation, if you're going to step into the power of the present, if you're going to seize the opportunity, then one of the things you're going to have to stop doing is overthinking. Come on, you got to stop overthinking. Like, you're thinking this thing, you're thinking yourself out of it. You're negotiating your path out of this opportunity, this moment in time where you could really become something, really accomplish something. So we gotta stop overthinking. I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. I don't have what it takes. I don't have the education. I don't have the background. You know those lies we tell ourselves. So my question is, are you willing to take continuous action? Get that urgency back. Somebody step back into the place of action. Somebody step back into the place of faith and determination. Somebody get back into that space, that mindset, that mentality that says, I'm living like it's my last. I'm putting it all on the table. I'm giving this thing everything I have. Tomorrow is not promised. Just because somebody else lived to see 70 doesn't mean I'm gonna live to see 70. And so every single day of my life, I'm gonna give it everything I have. I'm gonna love like there's no tomorrow. I'm going to forgive like there's no tomorrow. I'm gonna let go. I'm gonna try again like there is no tomorrow. Like this is my only opportunity. I need you to live every day like there's no tomorrow. Love, smile, forgive, believe, hope, expect incredible things. Make it up in your mind that every day you are blessed to see, you will give it everything you have. You will live like there is no tomorrow.
There is no tomorrow!
Everything changes today.
This moment, ladies and gentlemen, is your life as much as any other. Spend it in a way that'll make you proud. These other people in the world, their life is on the countdown, but they're not down yet. They're still hoping for the best. They're still believing that maybe there's a chance. And they haven't given up yet, but they're still fighting. I want you to understand that you are not the only one that is going through a struggle. You are not the only one that's alone. You are not the only one that is hurting. You are not the only one. If no one else forgives you, learn to forgive yourself. Hold yourself up. When everybody else says no, you say yes. Forgive yourself. If no one else forgives you, learn to forgive yourself. You are the one that has to be accountable. No matter what happens, it's gonna still fall back on you. Keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. Your purpose means something, but if you're gonna get to the top, you gotta know what it feels like to be at the bottom. You gotta know what it feels like to crawl through the dirt and the mud and all of the things that you don't feel comfortable in being in. You ain't got time to try. You need to start living your life every single day and be blessed and be thankful and be strong and walk with power and walk with faith. If you didn't make the sun come up, you can't stop me. If you didn't make the moon shine at night, you can't stop me. You have to find a way. You must find a way to get back up. This is not the end for you. You will not quit. Do not take this life for granted. Live every moment knowing you will have no regrets. We are alive and breathing and capable of more than we could ever imagine.
Discipline is when you take the battery of willpower and you squirt that extra juice to make up the difference. Your motivation's only getting you so far. Usually it's far enough. Sometimes it's not. How do you bridge this gap? You bridge it with something called discipline.
But what it takes is a discipline that everybody has the ability to do it, but they just don't want to.
Our mind may tell us it's easier to oversleep or not go to the gym, but at the end of the day, discipline can be practiced. It's not difficult.
But for some reason, I think when it comes to internal stuff, willpower, habits, discipline, because you can't see it, because it feels like it's part of your sense of self, and I think that that limits maybe people's understanding of how much they can move that and lift the ceiling.
We think that discipline sucks, like not getting to eat everything you want, not getting to do everything you want. We think discipline is a punishment, but actually nobody has a shittier life than a person who has no self-control, no boundaries, no rules.
What are you gonna get without discipline? Are you gonna be in good physical shape without discipline? Are you gonna be financially successful without discipline? No. If you wanna make progress in your life, you gotta have discipline.
It's a discipline, it's a regimen. It was a choice I made. And the choice I made was, what are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to give up to find every bit of who you are as a human being? And I was willing to give everything to do that.
There is a bridge from what you see in your head to what you hold in your hand. And that bridge is called discipline.
We're talking about pressing and pushing towards something despite difficulty, despite delay, despite distractions, despite the doubters, despite the naysayers. This is somebody who perseveres, who has an unwavering tenacity to achieve what it is that they see in their head. We do what we hate like we love it. That's what discipline looks like.
Where's my focus going? I can always be upset about something. Where do you tend to focus more? Your past, your present, or your future? We all spend all three, but where do you spend more of your time? Most of us who are achievers tend to focus on the future, but all the joy is in the present. The majority of people spend a lot of time in the past, and the problem is you can't change it. You're constantly focused on what's missing versus what you have. You're focused on what you can't control. And there's two worlds, right? The external world, the internal world. We can't control the external world, we can influence it. The part we can control is what's going on inside of us. And that, we can control what we focus on. We can control the meaning. We can decide the meaning. We're the meaning makers, and we can decide what to do. And when we make those three decisions, we're in control of our life, and all the anxiety and bullshit tends to go away, especially if we're trying to do that to serve something more than ourselves. Because you can't serve something more than yourself and not benefit. When you want some self-esteem, do something worthwhile beyond just yourself. We all know the two emotions that destroy your relationship, your business, your life, it's fear and anger. Those are two extremes. You can't be grateful and fearful simultaneously. You can't be angry and grateful simultaneously. But like you look at somebody like Steph Curry, and you see this guy, shoot the ball from almost half court. So he doesn't even look. He turns around and just waves because he knows it's in already. And there's swish, and the crowd goes crazy. And people look at that and go, he's unbelievable. He's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. He's the greatest three-point shooter in history. There's no one like him. But what they don't pay attention to is that isn't like a little gift. He shoots 500 shots every single day, never less than that, 7 days a week. For more than 15 years, his 15-year professional career. He's been doing it since before he was in college. His dad really trained him. So think of that, 3,500 shots a week, 168,000 shots in a year, 2 million shots in his 15-year NBA career, so he can make 3,600 shots. Not even 1/10 of 1%. I tell people, you get rewarded in public for what you practice in private. I think everything happens for a reason. I think there's a higher purpose. I think it's my job to find it. I think that life happens for us, not to us, but it's our job to figure it out. You're gonna battle with internal things within you and external things, but if you keep going, you're gonna eventually slay your dragons and you come out the hero of your own life and you have something to share that isn't bullshit. It's not something you read somewhere, it's something you've lived.
Something you want.
And everybody can feel you've lived it because it's a different level of ownership, And then, by the way, as soon as you do that, it happens again. You're called on another journey. You have a new level of challenge that you need to go on. It just never ends, but it makes life really, really beautiful.
How can people who are always very hard on themselves learn to build up their self-esteem a little bit more?
I don't know if self-esteem is the answer. I don't think it's bad to be hard on yourself, as long as you also celebrate when the victories happen. But so many people will tell you, I have poor self-esteem because when I was a kid, people said this to me and that to me. And it's convenient that we remember those things and not the positive things that also occur, obviously. But I think it's more important is to realize that self-esteem is earned. It's only earned by you with yourself. You're not going to get self-esteem because everybody praises you. Someone can tell you your whole life that you're brilliant, you're a genius, you're beautiful, you're handsome, and you not believe it. Someone can tell you, you're a piece of crap and you're never going to become anything, and there's a part you can say, I'll show you, as many people have, and then they develop drive out of it, right? So it's really, self-esteem comes from doing incredibly difficult things where you pushed yourself. It's not virtue signaling, it's not telling people about it. It's what you know inside your soul is true. And the more you do things that are incredibly difficult, and especially things that are meaningful, meaning they're not just about yourself, the higher that esteem would be. I think the most important thing for self-esteem is to find something you care about more than yourself. If you find something you care about more than you won't be thinking about yourself all the time, and all your bullshit self-esteem just goes out the window. The real question is, what do you want? If you want an extraordinary life, my definition of that is life on your terms. Some people, it's 3 beautiful children, a white picket fence. Some people, it's building a multi-billion-dollar business. Somebody else, it's writing poetry. Instead of looking for somebody else, it's like, okay, what do you really want from your life? And aligning yourself with moving forward towards what you really want. If you can do that in a way that also you feel serving others simultaneously, there's a sense of meaning in life that can't be replaced by self-esteem or praise or compliments or being nice to yourself. And I don't think it's bad to be tough on yourself. I'm pretty tough on myself, I'll be honest with you. Being overly tough on yourself usually comes by making comparisons that don't make sense. You're comparing to somebody else's life that has a totally different path, a totally different experience. We all develop in different stages and different things. We all want different things. But eventually you wake up and say, it's good to be strong with yourself, but beating yourself up just lowers your energy. And when your energy gets lower, you produce less. And you don't have the same level of joy. You don't have the impact that you want to have, nor do you have the excitement that you really want to have. So I look at it as something that it's worth earning your own self-esteem, but it's really not the secret. The secret is find something else you obsess about more than yourself, and you'll have a level of energy that will compel you over the long term. When I began with a fuel, which was like, I'm gonna show them, it was anger that drove me. I'm just gonna show you type of thing. But that fuel doesn't last. And then the next fuel that people tend to use is, I gotta succeed. But there's a little fear underneath that's driving them, which is like, what if I don't? Versus a knowing, it's like, if you give your all every day, your gifts will make room for you. And it's like having a knowingness that things are going to be fine. And then there's the next level, which is you start to know who you are and you're not trying to prove it to yourself or other people. And it's just, you just want to help. It's the difference between what I would call push motivation and pull, right? Push is, I'm going to make this happen. And it takes tremendous willpower. And I know you have plenty of willpower, I do as well. But there's a limit to willpower, but there's no limit to pull. Pull is when there's something magnificent that you want to serve, something that you've got an obsession for, to create or to do or make happen. And that doesn't, you don't lose that energy, you don't lose those components, and you're able to laugh and enjoy along the way. I think it's important to realize wherever focus goes, energy flows. It's corny, but it's true, right? In fact, maybe an easier way of saying it is, we don't experience life. None of us do. We experience the life we focus on. So in any moment, what's wrong is always available. So is what's right. So it's not about being positive. It's about being intelligent. You gotta look at the impact of what you're believing. And you gotta look at and say, where's my focus going? I can always be upset about something. I can always find something to be joyous or at least grateful for, which leads to joy. And I think it's learning to discipline your disappointments. Not allow them to grow and to move on and to use whatever life has given you. You can make some simple patterns and change your whole life, a focus. The minute you focus on something, your brain has to decide, what does it mean? And meaning is what creates emotion, and emotion is where your life is, right? And so the quality of your life is the quality of your emotions. We all have a pattern of focusing on what we have and at times on what's missing. Which one do you think most people spend more time focusing on, what they have or what's missing? You can engineer your life to have more happiness, but I think the real challenge is thinking so hardly about being taken seriously just represents your fears, right? It's like, I think spiritual development, when people talk about spiritual, not religious development, spiritual development is the level of comfort you can have with just being your real self. And I think that's not an easy task, because we all are trying to be something, but we already are that something we're trying to be. That doesn't mean you can't be better, but it's like accepting and appreciating what you really are, and instead of projecting, something else, takes a lot of pain out of your body, takes a lot of wasted energy out, it gets a lot of fears to just disappear. And I don't have an easy path for that. I think it's the hero's journey. I feel if I work my ass off, now I've done my part, okay, now come through me, let's do this, and it tends to flow.
Life happens to me or I happen to life, but life happens for me.
Yes, not to me.
Yeah, is a wonderful reframe.
Yeah, I really believe it. But you got to dig for it. It's not easy.
But it's got to be earned, right? Like wishing for confidence without competence is just delusion. You have no evidence to say that you can do this thing.
if you want freedom, if you value freedom, you can't possibly have it as long as you play the victim role. None of that makes you who you are. None of that controls where you are in your life.
There's a lot of thought behind a person being a born loser, becoming who I am today. You don't just wake up and just rocky the shit. You gotta wake up and think about, there's a process to getting better, and that process is never finished. Like a lot of times, if your back is hurting, it may not be your back. It may be something else in your body that's making your back hurt. For me, I'm like, man, why can't I get past this hurdle? So like I said, I'm always examining myself every day. What is it? What is it? Well, there's only one thing you haven't examined yet, and it's going back to the beast, going back to the demon. All the times that I was like, I'm not going back, and I went back. I'm not going back, and I went back. I'm not going back, and I went back. It showed me even more of what we have as humans, if we're willing to go there and we're willing to push that extra step. A lot of people, man, how do you do what you do? At the end of the day, I ask myself one question: can I take one more step? And usually the answer is yes. So if you can answer that question and not take another step, that is real failure. That is real quitting. So a lot of people can take one more step, but they choose not to. I don't know if you can take 2 steps. You got to answer that question after you take the first step. But I can always take one more step, so if I choose not to, that's on me. And I got to live with that. I had just climbed a mental wall that was amazing. And I didn't want anybody to take that pain away from me at that point, because that was all confirmation. So for me, this was the new level. You don't need a lot of things. Sometimes the only thing that kept me with that one step forward was one thing. Let's not quit yet, Goggins. Let's think about your options. Where are you going to end up if you quit this shit? Where are you going to go? And when I got done with that race, it's the worst pain. I can't even describe the pain of that last 30 miles to anybody. No one, it's very hard. So when it ended, and I'm laying there in the worst pain of my entire life, I'm shaking, I'm jacked up, and all I could think about was, I can't believe what I had just done. To me, it was humanly impossible to even think about going 30 more miles in that shape. And once you do it, what came over me when that shower hit me, and the reality hit that I just went 101 miles. And that last 31 miles was something that I can't even describe to people. And what's amazing about the human mind is that it becomes your new norm. Like, to think that I can run 200 miles, 240 miles, and that becomes like running 50. I never thought that was possible. This is why I'm always pushing that limit, because I know that within pushing these limits, there's always more.
Did that set the tone or the rhythm for what you wanted to try and achieve and feel again? Each time you're pushing further?
I never wanted to feel it again. I never wanted to feel it again. But what it did was it showed me what is possible. And that's what set the new stage for me. That's when I realized, oh man, I've really been underachieving my entire life. But it taught me what is possible. It taught me like, okay, I got it, check. I'm about action, and action means less talking and more doing. So that's where I've been. It only takes 1 second for you to lose the whole thing. So the 1 second decision is just that. You're in a situation where life is sucking. Let's say you're in extreme cold water and your life is flashing before your eyes. Every time that wave goes over your head, your thought process is, I gotta get the fuck out of this water. And you're in Hell Week. And you're hour 1 of 130 fucking hours. It's cold, I can't be cold this long. And then this is where that 1 second decision comes in. You forgot every reason why you wanted to be there. You don't care about SEALs. You
You don't care about any of this shit. You don't care about fighting for your country. All you want to do is go back home. You want the warmth. You may want something to eat. All those things of comfort are there in that 1 second. And this is where people lose. So what I do in that 1 second, because we all think about quitting when it's hard. But what you have to do in that 1 second is hard to process information during pain. Because that pain takes over and you can't think rationally. You're thinking about fight or flight, save yourself. That's not a rational thought. It's not a thought that's gonna get you through hard times. Most people fail that 1 second. So what happens, what I do, I start thinking logically. I calm my brain down because your brain just wants to get the fuck out. It's about gaining control of your mind, putting things back in the proper perspective, and then saying, I really do want to be here, and I'm going to have a bunch of these 1 seconds, and I have to learn to control these, because if I fail one of these 1 seconds, I will not be a SEAL. I will not be a doctor. I will not be a lawyer. I will not be whatever the fuck it is. So that's how important that 1 second decision is. It's all about your mind takes control of you. You have to say, fuck you, I run this motherfucker. There's no other way to make it out here. I mean, you can't just always be, head down in the sand. You got to learn to pick yourself up on your own. A lot of times these fights and these battles, you got to be your own coach. You got to be your own motivator. Because there's a lot of people in this world who don't want to see you make it because they think you could take a piece of their pie. But I've learned to study people before I react. Because there's no successful person in the world who's in a good headspace that's going to ever attack anyone in that kind of manner. There's always going to be something wrong with them. So you got to always dive a little deeper before you get your feelings hurt. Take time. Take that 1 second to pull back and study them. Because most people who are in good places, they don't care about what you're doing. They don't care about what you're doing. They don't try to destroy you. They actually will try to build you up versus destroy who you are as a person. So that's where I'm at now in life, is most people who do that, they're in a very dark, dark place. As you get bigger, as you get more successful, you open the door for people to critique every fucking thing you do. And most of the people who are critiquing you usually aren't where you are. And all their critiquing comes from people who are really at a low level of life, which is sad. But what we do, people who are on the upper level, hearing the haters at the lower level, like I said, you'll never meet a hater doing better than you. True statement. So I started making these mixtapes with all of these hate messages about people talking shit. And it became such a source of fuel that it was amazing, because I know why you hate me. You hate me because you're probably in the bed right now. You're probably an underachiever. You're probably somebody who doesn't want to do anything with your life. So I make you question everything about yourself. So I'm going to continue making you question yourself by coming out here and being even more successful. So what happens is, there's days where I'm like, you know what? I really don't want to do this today. And I'm like, oh, hang on. So I listen to that while I run. I sometimes play it in the house. It's half comical, it's half inspiring. I'm actually inspired by it. Because I know I'm gonna get hit in the mouth. There's an art to getting hit in the mouth. And that is why these things are important. You have to wake up and you have to give yourself belief. You have to give yourself confidence. So it starts with that run. Belief is like, there's an after school special belief where the mom says, believe in yourself, and that's all great, but there's also a built belief. How I build belief is through the daunting tasks I put myself through. So that's proof positive that I can.
You don't become confident by shouting affirmations in the mirror, but by having a stack of undeniable proof that you are who you say you are. Outwork your self-doubt.
Yes, because a lot of people, they say when you wake up in the morning, pound your chest, look at yourself in the mirror and do all this fucking bullshit. I hope it works. What works for me is that everyday resume. The things I know I've accomplished, the things I know I've done, real hard work, the real calluses on my mind, the real calluses on my hands. That's it. You must build belief. You must build confidence and say, I can knock that shit out.
If you turn around and look back with open eyes at your life, you see all the scars. The only way you cannot be humble in old age is when you refuse to look at the reality of your life up to today. That's the only way.
Because nobody's skated through it perfectly.
But this is what drives it sounds ludicrous in my ears, but my business endeavors today. This is the core of what drives me. Okay? There is no business out there that I can take on. There is no monetary endeavor that I can take on that is worth the gamble of me losing me. It took me years of a lot of grief and pain and work to get to be who I am today in spite of who I was. And I don't want to lose that. I don't want to lose myself in business. I don't want to lose myself in trying to earn a better living, in trying to get a name, in trying to do this. It's like I have turned down so much because I've looked at it and I've asked myself, who's this going to make me be? Who's this going to turn me into? Even a little bit. And it's like, it's just not worth it. It's not worth it. And so I'm right now trying to find the balance in undertaking something that's not going to alter me, that I'm not going to lose myself, and then not succeeding at something because I was too afraid to try it. Never been afraid of failure before, but now I've got something I don't want to lose, and that's myself that I actually like, a me that I actually like.
The person that you have to spend the most time talking to in your life is yourself. Try not to lose that respect. How have you learned to have a better relationship with yourself, the voice inside of your head, to be kinder if things go badly?
I like me. I like me. I would buy me a drink. I look at me now and I see all the warts. Okay, I see all the negatives more than anybody else does. I see the positives. And over the whole balance of stuff, I like me. And I can give myself the same grace. If you and I were friends, I can give myself the same grace I can give you. Because I like me. I like me in spite of my understanding and the reality of my weaknesses and my warts and my scars and everything. But all in all, I'm a pretty good dude. And man, you got to get to that point. Arrogance is pride mixed with ignorance. All right, that's the definition of arrogance. I'm not talking arrogance. I'm talking about, look, as a human being, I've failed at this. I've succeeded at that. I've wrecked this, but I've built that. And all in all, I've tried. But I like me, so I'm going to give me some grace. And
I wonder how many people can say that. How many people say, I like me? They would give more grace, more care, more attention, more love to somebody else than themselves. There's a statistic around, I think on average, the likelihood that you are going to complete a course of antibiotics yourself is about 50%.
Right.
The likelihood of your dog completing it is 95%.
Yes, yeah.
So we're literally capable of caring for a pet nearly double as well as we can for ourselves. Remembering that if you die, no one can look after the pet. Serving others from a cup which overflows around your own is important. Tell me, how do you like yourself?
Find somebody that you like that you genuinely like and figure out what it is about them you like. I like that. That's something I like. That person is, they're understanding, they're gentle, they're hardworking, they're honest. This is what I like about that, and incorporate that stuff into your own life. If that's the stuff you like, then incorporate that stuff into who you are, and then you like yourself. It's not rocket science. But if we become the person that we like, I have come to the place in my life where when I meet somebody and they don't like me, and you can tell, I don't care. I like me, and it's enough.
You know, this was a lesson that I realized toward the end of my 20s, where I'd accumulated a lot of success and status in maybe the way that modern society tells a young man that he should, with freedom and notoriety and women and stuff like that. And that was cool and like, to look back on, fun. But it was beginning to get to the stage where I didn't like me all that much. Well, I hadn't done anything bad, but I just felt like I was built for more. I was built for different, built for something else.
Right.
And I realized that I wasn't keeping promises to myself.
Right.
That if I said I was going to wake up at a certain time, the snooze button would be hit 3 times.
Right.
If I said that I was going to stick to my diet or go to the gym or do this thing, maybe it would happen, but it wouldn't happen quite the way that I'd meant it to, and there would be some negotiating and some cajoling and some falling short. You know, how can you have faith that you're going to go and do all of the things that you want in life when you can't not hit the snooze button?
Right.
Or you can't not cheat on your diet. You
Right.
can't not do, you know, you are constructed by the tiny decisions that you make every single day.
Well, I'll just say I came to a place in life where I just didn't like me anymore. I wasn't a very nice person. And I was just very on edge, very angry. So I had to make some decisions. I can't continue to live like this. Angry, there's no benefit to it. You know, it doesn't fix anything. You know, anger, it just turned out, I'm like, this is not profitable. And this is eating me up inside. And I'm making stupid decisions. And this has just got to end. So I had to make some decisions. What's making me like this? I need to get it out of my life. And slowly over time, got a handle on stuff. And kind of got some of my perspective back.
So imagine that you had a friend, and every time that you invited this friend out for lunch, they showed up an hour late, or they didn't show up at all. After a while, you'd stop trusting them and stop inviting them out at all. You are that friend to yourself.
Yeah.
And I think this is such an important lesson for people who want to be liked, who struggle socially, and want to become better. People like people that make them feel good.
Right.
They don't care that much about how impressive the person is.
When no one's watching, I work harder than when they're watching. And thinking about it like that has given me this persistent and ever-present scorecard or third party that's like, no one's watching, which means now you have to work, because otherwise you're full of shit. The sign of success is the hate that you get along the way. The only person who can judge you on your success is you. You're the only one who knows how much left in the tank you really had. When you're stagnating in a business and you're plateaued and you don't know what to do, it's very painful. When you're declining and you also don't know what to do, it's very painful. And so that means that all conditions of reality are painful. If pain is a prerequisite for reality, then it means it's just a signal that we are alive. Rather than pain is a problem, it is a signal that I'm breathing. It just doesn't matter. You can work every hour of the day. The person who loves walking walks further than the person who loves the destination. I work all the time. That's all I do. And I work until I can't work. They're like, that's not healthy. I'm like, define healthy. I do as much as I can of the thing that I want to do with every minute of my day. And I work harder now than I did when I was poor. And I think it's because I've learned to enjoy it. And most people say, I wouldn't live my life that way. You're always working, you're always doing these things. But it's like, I'm actually always spending my time in pursuit, because in pursuit is my button for enjoyment. I will do enough work that there is nothing left to be done. Everyone believes in the American dream until it comes true. And I remember, because what had happened was, everybody, when I was sleeping on the gym floor, right? Like, I was the underdog. My clients were all like, "Oh, good for you. You're going after your dream." And they'd see my blanket and my pillow in the corner of the gym, and they knew I was sleeping there, and it was evident. I lived there, and that everybody was like pro me. And then people would come in, they sign up like, "I'm gonna support you," right? And then within 9 months, I had hired people and I had a manager, and I pulled up, and I remember I walked in the lobby, and all the same people were like, "Oh, boss man's here. Oh, you're not too good for us now," right? And I remember being so jarred by the experience, and I was like, "You guys rooted for me." And I was like, "And now I did what you said you were rooting for me to do." And that was when I realized that people want you to do well, but not better than them. The reason the goal isn't coming at you fast enough is because every person you've seen accomplish the goal, you only see it the moment they accomplish it. And the reason that it hurts so much when people are like, "Must be nice, oh, that happened overnight," is because every time you fail, no one cares and no one sees. But when you finally win, people take notice.
Discredited.
But it's the only time they notice is when you actually win. And so, to even further reinforce the point, the fact that everyone looks like an overnight success means that the 10 years where they sucked, no one saw. And so the fear that you have about people noticing the fact that you fail is ridiculous, because they're barely going to notice when you succeed. The difficulty with personal development and entrepreneurship is that you don't know when the end is coming, but you still need to fight. And the only certainty that I can give you is that it's the same thing that every other person who got through that period went through. But I think the thing that everyone who's listening lacks is the context on how hard work is, not in that it's complex, but just in that it's a continuous and unending focus on one thing and noticing the details that separate mediocrity from greatness. And if you're like, "I don't know what the difference between those two things is," that is the opportunity that hard work reveals. And most people expect that is hard work because that's the hardest they've worked, not the amount of hard work that is required in order to get the level of outcome that they say they want or that they expect. And until you get great, because as soon as you get great at one thing, you realize just the tremendous amount of hours and work that it takes to be great at one thing. And then there's this oh shit moment that I can express personally, which is you realize that there's so few things that you can be great at. And then the discipline comes down to saying, what are the 2 or 3 things that I can be really good at in my life? Because it will take me 5 to 7 years to be exceptional at this one thing. I am okay being a beacon of relentless hard work. And that's the never-ending cycle of excellence. Oh, I just have to figure out what to do. When I wake up every day, there's only one voice I have to listen to. And so then it's like, just do it for me. Yeah, we need to be reminded more than we need to be taught. It's one of my favorites. There have been so many times in my life where I knew I needed to do something, and then I filled all this extra time not doing that thing. And then the moment I did it, I was like, wow, that took way less time than I thought it was going to take. And not only that, it took way less time than it took me to delay to actually get to this point. And if I had only started with just doing what I was supposed to do, I could have done 4 or 5 other things that I was also supposed to do by this exact same point. Waking up and then trying to shrink the time between when I wake up and when I start working, and shrinking the time between one task and the next task. Like, you don't need to take 30 minutes of getting ready to start working. Like, you can just start working, because as soon as you get into it, you start pulling the thread and you're like, oh, here it is. And all of the time that I was getting ready to work, I was just using up my best brain power time on things that truly don't move the needle at all. The vast majority of business owners work a fair amount. they just work on the wrong stuff and they do it the wrong way. And so they get so little for their effort that they wonder when they're at home empty-handed in bed, why isn't this working when I am working? But if you define work, at least the way I do, which is output, and in order to get output, it's volume times leverage. So how many times you do the thing times how much you get for each time you do it. And so that is the, do you work smart or do you work hard? It's you do both. You do as many reps as you possibly can, and you do it with the most leverage possible. So if I make 100 phone calls, the leverage that I can have there would be how skilled I am. So if I make 100 calls, I might get 10 times more. And so I worked more, I had more output than somebody who has less skill. But the only way you get skilled is by working more. And so it's this virtuous cycle of doing more and getting better, and then you get more for what you do. I talk about the rule of 100 on steroids, which is something that I learned from a guy who owned 13 or 14 really successful gyms, and he called it open to goal. And he said, yeah. He said, my managers work open to goal. And I was like, what does that mean? It's like, so they work open until they hit their goal. And so sometimes that means they hit their goal by noon and they can cut out. Or that means that they have to go from 5 a.m. until midnight that night, because that's how long it took them to hit the goal. And so I've seen this across a lot of high achievers across domains. So like, I'll keep shooting free shots until I hit 100 free shots. I will run until this happens. I will practice my presentation until I do 0 mess ups, right? Or whatever that output is that you want for quality or quantity. And the more times you do what is required to get what you want, the more times you get what you want. But when no one's watching, I work harder than when they're watching. Thinking about it like that has given me this persistent and ever-present scorecard or third party that's like, no one's watching, which means now you have to work because otherwise you're full of shit. And so it's this continuous reinforcing cycle of me and other me holding the whip behind me to see how much I can take. But with each lash of the whip that I take, learning that I can take it and continue to trudge on. As long as you keep going, you bear witness to yourself of what you are capable of. And I find that incredibly satisfying in the trenches of misery when you have to go through it. Hard work is the goal. And so it's not like work hard so that X, because as soon as you have a so that, then the X is the thing. But if the goal is to work as hard as you possibly can, then the only real output we have is who we become along the way. Then it's something that I can win or measure myself against every day in real time throughout the day, which is how hard am I working? Because that is the goal. Because I know that when I look back on my life, the days that I loved the most were days when I had nothing left in the tank. And so then the goal becomes to empty the tank, not where I drive, but just to drive the car as hard as I possibly can. And that means that in the beginning, it's just straightaways and just seeing how high I can rev the engine. But as I become more advanced, it's like, all right, well, now we've got turns, and then it's turns in elevation, and then it's turns in elevation without guardrails because we have risk. And so when I think about how hard I want to work, the interesting thing about that is that the only person who can judge you on your success is you, because you're the only one who knows how much left in the tank you really had. There's this huge time delay between when we start behaving in a way that a winner behaves and when we start winning. And the problem is that the bigger the mountain you're trying to climb, the bigger the W you're trying to get, typically the more delayed it is between when you start behaving like a winner and when you start being a winner. And most people don't get the fast enough feedback loop to know that they're on the right path when they are taking these first steps in the right direction, because they have this really big goal, but they forget that with that really big goal comes the even longer delay that it takes to get there.
It is hard. It's hard when you're young to wake up in the off season at 6 a.m. to go train and work out, knowing that all your friends are sleeping in and eating pancakes. It's hard when you're on your way to practice, way down with all your gear, and it's 90 degrees out and all the other kids are at the pool or at the beach. It's hard to throw, catch, block, and tackle, and hit kids when they're way bigger and way more developed than you, only to go home that night bruised and battered and strained, but knowing you have to show up again the next day for just the chance to try again. But understand this, life is hard. No matter who you are, there are bumps and hits and bruises along the way. And my advice is to prepare yourself, because football lessons teach us that success and achievement come from overcoming adversity.
I remember being downstairs for like the 4th round, and that came and gone. And the 5th round, you know, was coming and going, and all these other guys were getting picked, and it was hard. I remember taking a walk with my dad and mom around the block. Sorry about that. It was just a tough day, you know. You know, finally when the Patriots called, I was so excited, you know. I was like, I don't have to be an insurance salesman, you know. All those experiences that we think are the hardest things in our life end up being the best experiences in our life, because if you approach it with humility and you look inward, they become the best opportunities for growth and learning. Because I developed this work ethic in high school, and I realized, man, if I want to be good, I gotta wake up in the morning and I gotta do the extra work, and I gotta show up when other guys aren't, and I've got to learn. I've got to continue to be open to learning.
To be successful at anything, the truth is you don't have to be special. You just have to be what most people aren't. Consistent, determined, and willing to work for it. Integrity, purpose, determination, and discipline that it takes to be a champion in life. No shortcuts.
It was a tough battle for me. It was a tough go. It was tough in high school. It was really tough in college. If I want to be the best, I got to beat the best. And this is where the best are. I said I wasn't the prodigy. I learned about work ethic. I learned about resilience. I learned about gaining the trust and the respect of my teammates and coaches. I learned about how to dig deep within myself, a long way from home without a ton of support, to still try to find a way to succeed in this situation that I really wanted to be in because it was the best for me anyway. Focus on what you can control. Focus on what you're getting, not what anyone else is getting. Go out there and treat practice like no one else does. And I did that every single day. I didn't care about going to all these different places and doing those things. I just wanted to be my best. The team believed in me. I didn't want to let them down. What's the choice you get to make every day to wake up and say, all right, this is where I'm going to focus my time and energy? How disciplined are you to maintain that routine over a period of time? And I think that will determine your level of success. Be proud of that man that wakes up every day and does the best that he could do with his priorities.
Did you always have an absolute killer instinct where I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna prove the wait to see what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna kill this guy when we face him? Was it always like that when you were in high school, or that kind of developed later on?
Yeah, I think it developed over a period of time. And I think there was a work ethic that was in me, but I was never, I would say, like a prodigy. I didn't have the arm that could throw the ball 80 yards. I didn't have the speed that Michael Vick had. I didn't have the size that a lot of guys had, but I did have something inside of me that no one could see from the outside, this level of discipline that I could accomplish something that was really important and really special. I wanted to be a great football player. If I was gonna be a great football player, I wanted to compete against these other guys, and they were all better than me. Don't worry about all these things that are out of your control. Focus on what you can do. Focus on the 2 reps you got. Fuck your tired body, fuck that unmotivated mind, and get out there and do it anyway. And the mindset is me versus me. It's no bullshit. It was all about not making excuses. It was about how do we go out and get it done. I was so motivated to be the best I could be that I wasn't motivated to be the starter. I wasn't motivated to win the Super Bowl. I just was motivated to give my best, do the best with the opportunity I got, and to never let my teammates down. Those were my motivations. I think you wake up every day and hopefully you can look at yourself and say, did I give it my best? I wanted to be the best I could be, period. That's all I wanted. I just think winning Super Bowls was the result of a lot of great process. Like, my view is like, you can't control the outcome all the time, right? Like, the ball's gonna bounce the other team's way. Like, shouldn't always go your way. So you get motivated by the losses, you stay motivated through the winning. What you can control is your process. You can control those intangibles. You can control the work ethic, the consistent discipline, your attitude, your culture, how much you care. All those things are in you. They just need to be drawn out of you. And really, when you're in that position that you feel like you're got those pretty well under control, then you start passing those on to the other people that you're working with, that are parts of your team. Because I don't care how good any one of you are sitting out there. It doesn't matter unless you got a great team around you. You know, you could be great. You probably are great. You need a lot of other great people to support you. It takes so many people to get to where we get in our life. Yeah, I was there doing some of the work, but couldn't have done it if I didn't have them.
Let me just ask you this, Mr. Risk Taker. What's the bigger risk? Carrying on like you're going, or taking the deeper dive? What's better? Take eight big risks in life, sin once, miss the mark once, but get 7, achieve 7 out of 8, or take 100 risks and achieve 8 of them. My hunch is that if there's a God, he's saying, go for the 100 and get 8, rather than 8 and get 7. If you're not taking enough risk to sin or miss the mark, to fail, then what are you doing, man? Don't come back with even money. Come back with the safe bets.
You cannot afford not to.
I get the sense that feelings are one of these strange bets, emotions, investing ourselves, not holding a bit back, not putting one foot out, like putting it on the line, opening up.
Yeah.
That feels like a retreat in kind, but one that's plausibly deniable. When we just have one foot out, I didn't fully commit myself to this project, this relationship, this friendship, this self-transformation. And it means that if failure comes along, it doesn't hurt as much. Yep. But it also means that success is less likely, and if success comes along, you know that you didn't really earn it.
We have to define success for ourselves, and then we have to put in the work to maintain it. Take that daily tally, tend our garden, keep the things that are important to us in good shape.
No. Don't study the result. What was the person doing when they got there? And everybody who's achieved something great was some sort of outlaw. Some sort of hustler, out of balance, out of whack, dark times. Whoa.
Airstream.
Still wakes up in the middle of the night and glad they wearing a mouth guard because they'd have chipped all their teeth with that fucking nightmare they were having about those things they did back then. I'm one of those.
Prioritize who you are, who you want to be, and don't spend time with anything that antagonizes your character.
Let's carry on and trust and be ready to do the work, to say, we're not gonna just let that slide anymore. No, make a sacrifice today. Sacrifice a plastic ring today for a gold crown tomorrow. Sacrifice something today for more freedom tomorrow. Sacrifice something today for a possible healthier future for your kids.
Be brave, take the hill, but first answer that question, what's my hill? Whatever your answer is, don't choose anything that will jeopardize your soul.
You've got this great line where you say, so many people are obsessed with how to live longer instead of how to live better. How do you come to think about that?
I'm for it, the longevity. I'm for it. But in the pursuit of it, are we measuring quality of life along the way? Some people aren't. And I personally don't want to have the highest number, but then go, oh, that wasn't any fun, or I didn't enjoy that, or that sucked. Profit measures quality with the quantity. So I'm saying real success is when you have profit. Well, really great longevity would be for those quality years, quality time left in this life. I also say that because while I'm not looking forward to it, I'm not really afraid of death or dying. I'm not looking forward to it. I'm shaking my boots if I'm face to face with that great white. You know what I mean? I'm not looking forward to it, but I see it as obviously it's inevitable, and obviously I personally see it as hopefully a comma, you know, not a period. So tomorrow is not today's measurement when the misery is bad enough, right? These people don't have the suffering consideration. It's a privilege, man. I'm trying to put food on the table right now. I'm paying my rent tonight. You want to talk to me about investing in my future? And I say, and that's part of what faith and religion are for. To help those in misery hang on to a hope that will most likely not be served them in this life. To sell them belief and faith that they will be served in the next. And what if there is nothing there, man? What if there's nothing to hope for? What if there's no next? I don't know. But either way, in misery here or without a heaven there, not having any hope or faith in anything is a certain way to remain where you are forever. But if you can find something that you can keep going, something that no matter how small to look forward to and continually have faith in and chase, well, then your life here is gonna be better now, heaven or not. Let's go to the dream. Let's flip that script. I always have gone from nonfiction to say, let's make that the dream. Just keep living. Art emulates life. Let's go to dreams. Let's go to poems, prayers. These are pursuits of an ideal beauty. These are in between the lines. This is in between the math. This is not academic. This is not intellectual. These are ideals that we pursue, the beginner's mind that we have as a child before we know worse. And I don't want to be ignorant. I don't want to be foolishly optimistic. Let's look to those and believe that we can still make those real.
Durant scared me because when Durant score, he don't say nothing. He ain't getting nobody excited. He ain't trying to get LeBron pissed off or pumped up. He just score on my man and shh. Only thing he does at the end of the game, he kiss his mama, hug his brothers. All right, I'm out. Game over. Shh. But the one thing he does, I don't know if you watched it, the first thing he does is what with them numbers? Touch them numbers on the front, touch them numbers on the back, and he's doing that for who? His coach that was killed. He got a why. He got a why. He ain't just playing for no championship. He not. You gotta hear what I'm telling you. If y'all gonna be great on that field, you gotta have a why. You gotta have a reason for why you do what you do. All he keep thinking about is, I'm gonna get one for my coach. That's why he ain't all smiling, because why? He not smiling because what he's trying to accomplish, he has not what? He ain't got it yet. Y'all better start watching these games, bro, because you're gonna need to do what these champions doing if you're gonna be a champion. The problem with some of y'all, the reason why you don't give 120% every doggone time you get on the field, because you ain't got a why for what you do. You ain't got a why. So because you don't live long, you don't have time not to make your dreams and goals become reality. Every single day, because you don't know how long you have, every single day should be about what can I do? What can I have? What can I be? And you gotta hang out with other people who are on the same trajectory you're on. Anything you could think of, if you could actually think of it, it means you can do it. There is no dream that's too big. There is nothing that you could think of in your head that you can't do. Listen to me closely. Everybody want to win. Everybody want to be on a winning team. Everybody want to win, but everybody don't want to work. Everybody want the reward, but everybody don't have to want to work. We all got to work. You have to make a decision that nobody in your position will outwork you. You here now. You here now. You finally made it. And this is where you break up. This is where you start chilling. This is where you get comfortable. You made it now. This is where you make it permanent. Why do you wake up in the morning? Why do you put on that jersey? Why do you go out and practice? What's your why? I'm about to give everything I got, and I will know if I don't get another gig, it won't have anything to do with the fact that I didn't put everything on the field. You better grow up and get to the point as a man that if you ever get beat, you better get beat by somebody that's just purely more talented than you are. You better not ever get beat by somebody because you beat yourself. At the end of the day, your superpower is when you are your authentic self. That's your superpower, is when you're you. If I'm going to be like anybody else, it's not going to work. And at the end of the day, if you are your authentic self, that's the 1%. There's 1% of us that don't care about what nobody else say or think about us. We're gonna be our authentic self. That's what the 1% is. I'm number one. Why? Just because I'm being myself at all costs. It does not take talent. You don't have to be talented. You don't have to be gifted. You don't have to be the quickest, the strongest. You don't have to be the most intelligent to get to where I am. That's what you gotta do. You just gotta grind though. Your grind. Listen to me. You might come from privilege. Your daddy might hook you up with a car. He might know people. He might be able to get you a job. But you will not outwork me. The reality is, it's not that you don't have the talent. It is what it is. Y'all can run just as fast. You can catch, you can throw, you can tackle. I say, here's the problem. The problem is you got average will. There's two things you need to do to take advantage of this opportunity and be a dog. You need phenomenal skill and you need phenomenal will. You need both. I'm telling you, you gotta have phenomenal will. And I wasn't smart as you, but I passed you up. Why? Because I had that dog. I had that will. I had that determination. I don't care that I can't read or write. Like I failed English twice in college. I still got a 4-year degree. Took me 12 years, but that dog, that will. I said, if God gave me the ability to get up, yep, it might take me 5 days to do what it take you to do in 1 day, but I'm gonna do it in 5. It may take me 4 weeks to read a book that you can read in a week, but I got that dog. And guess what happens? If you don't have phenomenal skill, but you got phenomenal will, you can make up for skill. I went in the dark, y'all. I went in the dark for 10 years. I ain't watched no TV. I ain't listened to no music. Sacrifice. I sacrificed like 10 years to catch up with everybody else. Like for real, ADHD, I had a learning disability when I was younger. Like I overcame all of that with that dog. I overcame all of that with will. So I cut the TV off, I cut off intramural sports, I cut off everything. I cut it off. I'm up at 3 o'clock in the morning praying, and after that, I'm reading, I'm studying. Listen to me very closely. 2 things, skill and will. Like you only had a small dream. You had a dream of a house and a car and to take care of your mama. All that is done. So what you playing for? What you playing for? You ain't playing for nothing. That's why they beating you. Discipline is doing what you said you were gonna do when you don't feel like doing it, when you felt like doing it in the first place. That's all it is. When you first start playing this game, when you fell in love with it, you was just like, let's go, let's go, let's go. But then stuff's gonna happen. Like I gotta dig deep now and go a little harder. I actually went harder. You gotta discipline yourself, and you gotta learn that when you don't feel like it, you must still do it or actually go harder when you don't feel like it. Because out of 365 days, there are going to be days you don't feel like getting up. There are gonna be days you don't wanna work out. There's gonna be days you don't wanna watch film. There's gonna be days that you don't wanna practice. There are gonna be days you might not even wanna play. There might be days you don't even feel like getting in the game. But listen to me very closely. Champions, if you want to make it to the next level, you got to win in the dark before you can win in the light. All of us can go buy a car, but all of us can't get up in the morning and grind.
I hate losing. I mean, that's no secret. But you got to lose. I feel like every time I lose, I get better. And I think it's important for me to have losses.
The best in the world are not the best because they win every point. It's because they know they'll lose again and again and have learned how to deal with it.
But it's going to be too late for New Zealand. Australia knows their gold medal. And Woodman is inconsolable on the pitch.
And the New York Giants 1 second away from pulling off this upset. The Giants have won the Super Bowl. And after a 22-year absence, the Boston Celtics are NBA champions once again.
What I've learned is to always keep going. You know, there's been times, particularly early in my career, where it just feels like this is the end. But what I've come to find out is that no matter what happens, the storm eventually ends. And when the storm does end, you want to make sure that you're ready.
By 10, and time is beginning to run out for the Chicago Bulls. But if the Pistons are going to move on to play the Lakers, and the difference between...
We had a chance to beat them. We just didn't respond. I was devastated. I was absolutely devastated. I cried on the bus. My father came on and said, look, It's just one game. Bounce back, come back next year.
Jordan from deep. Michael Jordan has connected on Detroit Pistons. Heading back to the locker room. Their season has concluded while the Chicago Bulls advance to the NBA championship round.
Successful people see opportunity in every failure. Normal people see failure in every opportunity. Both are right. Only one gets rich.
You can't control the outcome all the time. Like, the ball's gonna bounce the other team's way. Like, sometimes it should go the other people's way. It shouldn't always go your way. You get motivated by the losses. You stay motivated through the winning. What you can control is your process. You can control the work ethic, the consistent discipline, your attitude, your culture, how much you care. All those things are in you. They just need to be drawn out of you.
If you don't fail, you're not even trying.
The truth is, whatever game you play in life, sometimes you're going to lose. A point, a match, a season, a job. It's a roller coaster with many ups and downs. And it's natural when you're down to doubt yourself and to feel sorry for yourself. And by the way, your opponents have self-doubt too. Don't ever forget that. You want to become a master at overcoming hard moments. That is, to me, the sign of a champion.
Chris Bumstead. He is the Mr. Olympia Classic Physique champion 4 years in a row. This guy he looks like he's carved out of stone. He's the modern day Arnold Schwarzenegger. People are making a lot of comparisons. He doesn't have the tyrannical self-belief that someone like a Michael Jordan does. So, Michael Jordan he wouldn't even dream of losing. If anybody slighted him, there was this sort of rage fire that was lit underneath him. But Chris's approach is very different. He's like, I think about losing all the time. It's like, I'm scared of losing. I'm scared of losing to my opponent. But his idea was that because he has accepted the fact that he may lose, he believes it's given him the potential to be able to put it all on the line in a way that someone who hadn't considered the possibility of losing wouldn't be able to do it.
The way I view it is sometimes you have to lose to win. And last year we lost, and I think it set us up and put us in better position to win this year. The number one goal from everybody here will be to win. And when that is the number one goal of everyone that walks into this building, everything else you figure it out. Sometimes you succeed, sometimes you fail. And that's just the nature of it.
Get rid of fear. It can be an engine to motivate you and make you work hard. But at a certain point, though, fear can hold you back. It's easy to get complacent and to start thinking, man, I've done all right, I'm comfortable. Let me not risk trying to do something I'm not sure I can do. Sometimes you fail, but sometimes you succeed. And you can learn from both, right? As long as you're willing to be self-critical and kind of evaluate when things don't work, why they didn't work, that you don't need to be afraid. And that's gonna hold you back.
From the outsider's perspective, everything looks like it's easier and better run than it actually is. But if you have the insider perspective of how the sausage is made, you realize like how inefficient virtually everything is. And so I think that's a big part of life, is just like realizing that success is harder than it looks. We talked about this earlier with Tiger Woods, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, all these people. Like, if you actually dig into what their life is, it's infinitely harder than it looks. I think in most endeavors in life, people perfectly understand the relationship between price and quality. You want a nicer car, it costs more. Bigger house, it costs more. But that like understanding goes out the window when you're talking about career success or career fulfillment or personal health, things like that. Like that, the relationship just kind of breaks down in their own mind. But it doesn't go away. Like, the higher the success, the higher the cost. I love reading biographies of entrepreneurs, of generals, whoever it might be. With very few exceptions, do I finish the biography and think to myself, I want that person's life. What I think is, I'm glad they existed. I'm so glad the world had that person that we can all benefit from. But the crazy success comes with a cost that very few people, including most of the time myself, are not willing to pay.
a lot of things happen in our life. You know, we all face our challenges and adversities, and we all go through things, and I think life is about dealing with a lot of things that you didn't want to have happen in your life, whether it's your business or whether it's sports or whether it's personal or, you know, children. And like I said, we all have our unique challenges, but do the best you can do. Show up every day and make the commitment to yourself and the people that count on you, the people that you support you. And through a lot of failures, you're gonna learn a lot, and you're gonna hopefully be humbled, because sometimes, you know, you give your best and it doesn't work. And I learned that in sports, and you learn it in life in different ways too. Sometimes you try your best, you work hard, but it just doesn't in the end go the way you want. So what are you gonna do, quit? You're gonna just blame everyone else? You're gonna go in there and blame the guy next door and blame that person and blame the dog and go out there and sleep until 10 o'clock? Or are you gonna get out of bed, wake up and go do something about it?
What one small step could I implement in my life? What's one small change that would increase the probability that the next time I'm in this situation that I would come out as a winner rather than a loser? It's like, okay, you can feel good and not learn, or you can learn and feel terrible. That's part of the art of learning to lose gracefully.
Take a pause before you make a decision and say, what if? Take a negative and turn it into a positive. Don't be afraid to fail.
Kill your laziness. It doesn't deserve life. You cannot accept weakness, nor can you accept excuses. You are responsible for your life. Laziness will destroy you forever. Get up out that bed right now. Stop being lazy. The time is right now. And if you're not ready to step up to the plate, then you have to get your mind in the right place. Stop allowing your laziness to control your passion. Your passion is connected to your destiny. But I'm here to let you know right now, you have got to stop sleeping. You want to be something, but you're not prepared to make the sacrifices to get there. Are you going to sit around and just wait and say, I'll do it tomorrow or the next day or the day after? There is no tomorrow. You know that, I know that. Don't be that other person that's sitting on the sidelines, hoping for something to happen, waiting for something to happen. Let's get to work. Let's fight for this life. Let's train hard. Let's dig deeper. Let's push forward. Because that purpose that is flowing through your veins, ladies and gentlemen, I promise you, it will give you the ammunition you need to get stronger, to get faster, to get better, to have that mind in the right place, because you know it is attached to you. You know this is who you are. But nothing is going to happen unless you make it happen first. Don't wait for someone else to tap you on the shoulder and say, go. You go and you do it right now because you know it has to be done. You want to be that person? You want to be your very best? Then give me more than your best. Give me more than what you think you are worth. You owe it to yourself. So don't get out here and play games with your life. Don't get out here and play games like it's a joke. It's not a game. It's called work. It's called dedication. It's called attitude. It's called grit. It's called tenacity. It's called power. It's called strength. Too many people waste too much time on laziness and excuses. But this is not the time nor the place. If you're waiting for something to happen on its own, good luck, because it doesn't work that way. Kill your laziness. You know who you are. You know what you're made of. You know what you're capable of. So show up. When are you gonna wake up and start believing in yourself again? That was a time you believed in yourself. You believe that you could touch the sky and go beyond it. But somehow, you've allowed the things that you truly wanted to be die. Why did you stop believing in yourself? Why did you believe that you were less when you are so much more? Why are you still doubting? Why are you still sleeping? You must have thought that it was just going to be easy the whole time that you were pursuing your dreams. You have to understand that even with dreams, nightmares tend to show up. Stress tends to put you in a position where you want to give up. It will pass. But you can't sit around and hold on to these dreams for too long. Just remember, you are in the driver's seat. You have to ultimately have the discipline and the mindset to push through every obstacle that comes your way. Not many people have that opportunity to be able to get up and move. There are people that will trade places with you right now if they could. But what are you doing? You must get beyond the laziness mentality. And going beyond takes struggle, takes sacrifice. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, it will hurt. You must see through all those things that are holding you down and keeping you down. And you must disconnect yourself from negative thoughts and negative people. Everybody's not ready to take that journey with you. And sometimes you just gotta do it alone. You don't need a workout buddy or a workout partner to take care of you. You owe it to yourself. We're talking about you. We're talking about strength. We're talking about work. We're talking about working towards your best. Leave the rest behind. That starts with you. Everything counts. Everything matters. But you got to dedicate yourself to it. This is that time. This is that moment. Listen up. Kill your laziness. It doesn't deserve to live. It means you no good. Don't allow it to live. Kill it today. You have no idea. There are millions of people out there that wish they had a chance. The chance that you have right now. You're sitting around being lazy. You don't feel like doing it. You don't feel like being better. You're always saying, I will never do this, I will never do that. But then you wait for the doctor to say something. You wait for that doctor to diagnose you with something. Sometimes some of these things, you can stop. You can prevent it. You just choose not to. Stop acting like it's a game and start getting serious, because only time matters. But how much time do you think you have? How much time do you think you're gonna be able to hold on to if you're doing nothing with it? But if you're in a good place right now, ladies and gentlemen, don't you wait for something bad to happen before you decide to fight. We're not just talking about just losing weight. We're not just talking about nutrition. We're talking about the fight of the life. The fight of the life that has been given to you. I say fight each and every day. I say push with every rep. I say run that extra mile. I say stop making excuses and just kill your laziness. That means you have to have balance and you cannot be complacent. Start today. Work today. Have the dignity for the life that has been given to you. This is that moment. This is that time. This is that hour. So dedicate yourself. Kill your laziness. And from the bottom of my heart, conduct your business.
If you've got the talent and you can work on the hard work and put them both together, then you give yourself the best chance of becoming a top athlete.
When you start to build yourself up and start to have real, authentic confidence from hard work, everything else goes away.
What's the secret to success? Hard work, hard work, hard work.
The key with me is just always finding what the anchor is. And an anchor is getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning every day before anybody else and grounding my thought process in the no one will outwork me. No one.
The true secret of success is to accept the truth that the only path is the path of hard work and productivity.
You understand that if you struggle now, you stand tall later. You understand that if you suffer now, you smile later. You understand that if you sacrifice now, you will succeed later.
When I realized that I can learn through hard work, and I can beat the valedictorian in school, but I got put in 10 hours more a day than he does. You know what kind of strength comes from that? When you're sitting down and that guy, that valedictorian studied for an hour, and you know I caught you, and I am dumb, but I have the work ethic to catch you. That's where David Goggins got really invented.
How can a champion be a champion without hard work? How can you get that promotion that you know you deserved without hard work? How can you be the best father or mother you can be without hard work?
Consistency. Sometimes you beat people not because you're better, you just wear them out. You just wear them down. That's gonna be the year with some team, you just gonna wear them out.
How can you get to the next level without hard work?
I'm telling y'all gotta get to the place, bro, when you execute, when you get it done, and when you come out, they just scared because you out. When Mike Tyson came out, he didn't have to fight 80% of his fight. He just came out, and because people knew he could execute, boom, 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 boom. When you get results, when you execute, man, it's a difference.
Don't wait for someday. There are 7 days in the week. Someday isn't one of them.
What God has blessed you with, the talent, he's given it to you to play ball. He gave it to you. You just was blessed with it. Now you got to put in that work.
No one's coming. No one. No one's coming to push you. No one's coming to tell you to turn the TV off. No one's coming to tell you to get out the door and exercise. Nobody's coming to tell you to apply for that job that you've always dreamt about. Nobody's coming to write the business plan for you. It's up to you.
Just get up, move towards that challenge, whatever that challenge is. Move towards that challenge and go attack it. And you may be successful and you may not be successful, but you will be better.
When every boy realizes no one's coming to save him, and that's when he becomes a man. And some boys never get there and stay children forever.
Nobody cares about you. And I mean that in the most positive, optimistic, inspiring, motivating way. You think that everybody's paying attention. And because of that, it kind of controls how you think. And the reality is nobody gives a shit. Everybody is so focused on themselves in this world. Nobody has time for you.
Look around you. There was no fucking team. It was you. There was no weight loss program or mom and dad waking you up saying you can do it, you can be better, trying to build belief. You built belief when you had nothing.
I found myself in a place that I just never envisioned I would be. I would wake up every morning just pinned to the bed with anxiety. And I became somebody that I barely recognized. And you know, the thing that's interesting about being stuck in life is that the fact is, you know what you need to do. That's the easy part. It's the how. How the do you make yourself do what you need to do? When you are scared or overwhelmed or anxious or hopeless or depressed or any of the stuff that happens to you as a human. That's the $100 million question. And because you're only ever going to do the things that you feel like doing right now or that feel good right now, unless you understand that you've got to parent yourself, you got to push yourself, you're not going to make your dreams come true. You're just not. We're not wired that way. You weren't born that way, you weren't that way when you were growing up, and you're certainly not that way as an adult. And there's a tremendous amount of liberation that comes when you accept the fact that you're always going to need to give yourself a push.
We don't want to be left alone by ourselves with ourselves. So we come in and we sit down and we get on our phone, or we turn on the TV, or we go wherever, we do whatever, because we don't want to face the reality of being by ourselves with ourselves. Start making yourself a companion that you're comfortable with, and become comfortable in your own skin.
I've trained 99% of my life alone. No one pat me on the back. I did all of the work alone. And while I'm still hard on myself, I know what I did.
You know, if you're going to create anything of value in this life, you're going to, even if it's with other people, you're going to have to be willing to be on your own for a bit, to forage on your own, to take walks alone.
I just have bad news for everybody. Nobody cares that you don't have time to practice. Nobody cares that you didn't grow up with money. Nobody cares that you came from a bad neighborhood. Nobody cares about your problems.
Stop with the pity party. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. And remember, no one is going to save you but you. Save yourself.
It seems like my version of personal development requires me to fall into a hole or dig one, and then I realize nobody's coming to rescue me, and if I want to get out of the hole, I'm going to need to build a freaking ladder.
It doesn't sound good to say that you're in control, that nobody's coming to save you, but that's what works. And so if you take Kobe Bryant's advice, which is that boos don't block dunks, and the idea that you can get so good at something that people can't stop you from succeeding.
And I promise you, every single person who wants to do something with their life and has done something with their life has gone through the exact chapter that you're going through. And it's the lonely chapter. It's the chapter where you don't fit in with your own friends, but you don't have the outcomes yet to fit into a new group of friends. And you're going through this and you're like, is this even worth it? Because you have no signs of success. But if there's anything that you can take away from what we're saying right now, is that the sign of success is the hate that you get along the way.
First of all, nobody is coming. I mean, if you've been sitting around waiting for somebody to discover you, to pick you, to save you, to rescue you, to give you your shot, it's not happening. Like, at some point, you got to wake up and realize when you're 18 and you're out of that house, you have to parent yourself. Your life is your responsibility.
No one is going to save you. We can't do this for you. This journey predominantly must come from you.
It's not what other people think. It's your life. But if it's your life, you got to be willing to pay the price.
There are going to be seasons in your life where nobody is coming. Nobody's coming to support you. Nobody's coming to help you. Nobody's coming to save you. No one is coming to rescue you. You got to pull yourself out of the pit of misery and put the work in.
Everything about it is accountability. Everything about it is self-discipline. Everything about it is no one's gonna save you. No one's gonna come out of the woods and say, hey, I got your back, man. I wanna take you from all this shit.
I like to think about it as this. You can be two things at once. You can be jealous of somebody, and you can also allow that to inspire you at the same time. You can be afraid, which is true, and you can still find the willpower to push yourself or discipline to push yourself forward. Human beings are very complex, and when you start to understand you're not just one thing, it gives you freedom to ride the waves of feelings, to ride the waves of experience, and to kind of go down and go, oh, this is a terrible thing, and know that you will be able to come out the other side of it.
Every single good thing that happens in our lives, everything, comes at a cost. There's nothing for free. Somebody with an incredible career has no relationship with their kids. Everything comes at a cost, but at the same time, everything we struggle with has opportunity and lesson that goes with it. It's always balanced. And when something horrible happens in someone's life or something goes sideways, I always ask, but what did you learn?
Life is about the pain of being alive. And when you know that, I find that very helpful.
to me. When I come back to that, I'm like, I'm struggling, I'm disappointed here, I wish this outcome had been different. But when I can come back to like, oh, but that's what life's all about. So what do I do now? You breathe it, you experience it, and then you move on and you heal in the doing.
You've got to learn to be more resilient about these things, because that is life. It's not a bed of roses. Life is tough.
And there's just a part of you, I think, in anything you're doing when you're struggling, is this really for me? Is this my destiny? Should I be doing this? And we misread failure from some sign. You know, is this a sign I shouldn't be doing it? You know, is this a sign I am, you know, not cut out for this? Instead of looking for signs that you can win, right? And so I spent the first 5 years literally trying to find ways to quit, trying to find ways to get out, struggling. And I went broke. I lost a car. I had the water turned off in my place. People don't realize that there were just years and years of grinding and struggling and worrying in the beginning. And then I made some mental changes and some shifts that altered my life then again.
I think you can win. I'm positive you can win. You just need to start changing your mindset. It means that you need to look at yourself and figure out who you are. What are you good at? What do you like? How are you gonna get to the place that you wanna get to?
Success is waiting for you. Winning is waiting for you. Achievement is waiting for you, because you are a winner. You are focused. You are determined. You are a fighter.
One of the hardest things, which became one of the greatest realizations, is truly coming face to face with myself and realizing that even though I have done extraordinary things in terms of my own thinking patterns, that there was a level to which I was still on the run, that I was darting off to a coffee shop or darting off to an airplane, and all of this racing around kept me from having to truly stop and stand with the woman in the mirror and just be still and figure out, what do I really want?
You're a person, you're human, you're alive, and you matter.